and go to the link. It's like my version of Fireside Chats. Need to adjust the mute button. Hello. 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 Great. God, here we go. The loop, the constant loop.
Yeah.
Hello to anyone that may or may not be there. We've got another 5 minutes before we'll get started. Find a seat that is comfortable for you and clear space around you for a little bit of movement. Whatever you have to work with is fine, whether that's wood or carpet or a mat on one of those things. Putting a mat down on a rug makes for an interesting experience. I never know if anyone's there. I feel like if I continue to talk, I'll talk to myself, which is what I do normally anyway, so that's not really a big issue. Just have 2 more minutes, so I'm gonna talk for a minute or two and then we'll get started. There is, hold on one second, I'm just grabbing the water. There's a conversation going on in the fitness and wellness and mindfulness communities about whether doing these practices and working out digitally and online is as worthwhile as it was gathering in groups. And this is similar to a conversation I had a long time ago with a friend of mine at the time, talking about online interactions versus in-person interactions. And this is something that's pretty important to me as someone that grew up on the internet and originally found a sense of community and a sense of self through the internet. One of the reasons why continuing to do these practices online is so important to me is that I recognize and understand that people have all kinds of ways of finding that community, and people have all kinds of ways of finding solidarity with others, especially in times like these. And the internet is such a powerful tool for doing that, that I don't have any problem getting in front of a potentially live digital audience like this. This is something that feels very natural to me. Whether or not the practitioners are getting as much benefit as they would otherwise, I think is a conversation that's separate from whether these offerings are digital or not. Like with so many things in our life, yoga practice, mindfulness, exercise, just general well-being, all of this is really directly related to how much work we put into it. And that's not to mean how much work we put into working on ourselves, but just more, do we show up for ourselves? Do we encourage that growth? Do we encourage openness and compassion with ourselves, and an ability to tolerate and learn from what society and what we ourselves deem as failure, and exploring these new digital avenues can feel a little bit uncomfortable at times, because there are going to be moments of failure, like not being able to get the webcam working properly, or any number of other things, needing a microphone, needing this, needing that. But it's in these places where we're not quite comfortable, where things are a little bit more fumbly, that we really learn the most, both about whatever it is that we're working on and about ourselves as well. And that's one of the reasons why I like these new digital offerings for things. It forces us as teachers to think about new ways of doing things that might have grown stale or stagnant. It forces us to consider them for a new world. And for practitioners, it's the same thing. You may be practicing in your home or in a space that you don't normally bring this sort of practice into. And it can be a very interesting experience to do something different in a place that you don't normally think of it that way. Yoga is all about confronting the truth and honesty in ourselves to come to a greater union with ourselves. And what better way to do that than to have these somewhat uncomfortable experiences in places that we consider safe. Okay, I've talked, and now we'll move. So to start, come to a seat that's comfortable for you. That can be kneeling like I am, or sitting cross-legged, or sitting cross-legged up on some height. We'll start by taking a few rounds of breath. Start to bring your focus to the breath. And take some time here to check in. Let the eyes soften or close. Notice if the breath is long or short, or fast or slow. If there's any places of particular tightness or tenderness in the body. And as we move through practice today, I encourage you to make this practice your own. If there's anywhere that you want to stay or linger, or any pose that you want to go back to, feel free to do so. Let's take 3 rounds of breath here together. Breathe in through the nose. And exhale HA out the mouth. Breathe in through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. Breathe in one more time. And as loud as possible, exhale out the mouth. Maybe wave your hands around. That's always fun. On your next inhale, let the eyes open. Sweep the arms out. Lift the hands up. Bring the hands towards the ceiling. And exhale, hands down by the hips. Press into the ground with the palms or fingertips. Inhale, lift the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Tilt the head back. Raise the chin. Exhale, round forward. Tuck the chin towards the chest. Peel the shoulders apart. Let the head grow heavy. Inhale, raise the chest, lift the chin, squeeze the shoulders in towards each other, really bear that heart forward. And exhale, round forward, tuck the chin, pull the shoulders apart. Inhale, raise the heart, squeeze the shoulders, pull the shoulders down the back and around the sides, lift the chin. And exhale, round forward, squeeze the navel in towards the spine, tuck the chin towards the chest. Inhale, raise the chest back to neutral. Reach the arms out, fingertips towards the sky. And exhale, bring the left hand down, reach overhead with the right, reach through the right fingertips, bend through the right side. Inhale, reach the hands back up. And exhale, over to the right, reach through the left fingers, through the left pinky, bend into the right arm. Inhale, reach the hands up. And exhale, over to the left. And inhale to rise. And exhale over to the right. One more round. Inhale, lift the hands, lift the gaze, and exhale over to the left. Really reach through the right side. Inhale, reach the hands back up. And exhale over to the right. Lean as far right as possible. Bend into the right elbow. Reach through the left fingers. Inhale, lift the fingers back towards the sky. And exhale, bring the hands down to the mat in front of you. Shift forward onto the hands and knees. Plant the palms underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips for tabletop. Inhale, reach the right arm high. And exhale, slide the right arm underneath the left. Bring the right cheek down. Inhale, reach the right hand up. And exhale, scoop the right arm underneath. Bring the right cheek low. Inhale to lift up one more time, reach through the right fingers, and exhale, slide the right arm underneath the left. Actually, I lied. Inhale to rise one more time. This is the real last time. And exhale, right hand down to meet the left. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. And exhale, scoop the left arm underneath the right. Bring the left cheek down. Inhale, reach the left hand up high. And exhale, slide the left arm underneath the right. Bring the left cheek low. Inhale, reach the left fingers towards the sky. Try to keep the hips even. Exhale, thread the left arm underneath the right. Drop the left cheek down. Inhale, reach the left fingers high. And exhale, left hand down to meet the right. Now we'll go through a little bit of ab fun. Nothing too intense. Inhale, reach the right arm and the left leg back, or the right arm forward. And exhale, pull the right elbow in towards the left knee, round the spine up, tuck the chin. Inhale to open, reach towards the front and back. And exhale, pull in towards the core, round the spine, squeeze the belly in. Inhale to open. And exhale, pull in one more time, round the spine up, really squeeze through the center body. Inhale to open, and this time stay here. Bring the gaze down towards the left fingers. Let the back of the neck relax. Really press down through the left palm and down into the left fingertips to raise the chest up slightly. And stay engaged through the left shoulder. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. And bring the right hand and the left knee down. Inhale, raise the left arm and the right leg. And exhale, left elbow to right knee, round the spine up. Inhale to open, reach and expand towards the front and back. And exhale, pull in towards the core. Inhale to open one more time. And exhale, squeeze in, left elbow, right knee, round the spine up. Inhale to open and stay. Flex through the right toes to bring the heel parallel with the back wall. Reach the left hands forward. Press down firmly through the right hand to gain that proudness through the chest. To stay engaged through the shoulder. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. And exhale, left hand and right knee down. Shift the hips back towards the heels. Lower the hips down. Lower the chest and forehead down for child's pose. Let the forehead and the chest rest down on the earth. You can always keep the hips raised with the hands long in front for puppy. And if you press down firmly through the palms, you'll feel a little bit of a stretch through the outer shoulder, through the serratus anterior. Take 3 rounds of breath here. On your next inhale, lift the hips up over the knees. Plant the palms underneath the shoulders. And exhale, spread the fingertips open wide. Press down firmly into the floor with both palms. Inhale, raise the right leg up and back behind you. Flex through the right toes. And exhale, stay. Inhale, raise the right leg up. Engage through the glutes and through the back of the hamstrings to lift it up. And exhale, bring the right leg down in line with the hip. Inhale, lift the right leg. And exhale to lower. Inhale, lift up one more time. Really press through the heel. Press back towards the wall behind you. And exhale, lower the right knee down to meet the left. Inhale, raise the left leg up and back. Flex through the left toes. Bring the heel parallel with the wall. And exhale to stay. Inhale, left leg up high. Squeeze through the glutes and through the hamstring. And exhale, lower it down in line with the hips. Inhale, left foot back up high. Engage through the leg. Press back through the heel. And exhale to lower. Inhale up one more time, really reach, and exhale, bring the left knee down to meet the right. Start to move back and forth, bring the body over the wrists and back over the knees, or start to sway from left to right, to rock back and forth from side to side, or take big wide circles with the entire body, like you're stirring a pot. To add a little bit of movement into the wrist. If you're moving in one direction, start to go the other. Notice any differences along the way, any different kind of cracks or noises from the wrists or from the knees, any tightness in the hips or in the groin. Notice how the weight shifts on the hands and through the fingers. Then come back to stillness in a neutral tabletop position. Bring the palms a little bit farther in front from the shoulders. Inhale, tuck the toes. And exhale, press down through the palms, raise the knees, lift the hips up and back to come into our first down dog. Take some time here to pedal out the feet, to raise one heel and lower the other, to wake up the hamstrings a little bit more. Keep the knees bent quite a lot here if the hamstrings are tight, and really engage through the thighs, through the quads to lift the hips up and back. Take one more round of breath here. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze towards the top of the mat. And exhale, walk or step forward between your hands. Inhale, bring the hands to the front of the palm. Bring the palms to the front of the shins. And slowly start to roll up. Keep a slight bend through the knees as you lift up past the hips. Engage the core. Pull the stomach in tight as you slide up through the chest. Shrug the shoulders up towards your ears. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and down your back. Come to stand in mountain with the palms facing forward. Inhale, sweep the arms out. Lift the hands up. Bring the gaze high. And exhale, bend the elbows. Raise the chest. Reach the crown of the head back. Squeeze the shoulders together. A little mini cactus back bend. Inhale, reach the hands up. Bring the gaze high. And exhale, bend the elbows, squeeze the shoulders, raise the chest. Inhale to lift. And exhale one more time, bend the elbows, raise the heart, reach the crown of the head up and back. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And exhale, shift the weight back into the heels, bend into the knees, lower the hips down into chair pose. Squeeze the thighs in tight towards each other. Keep the hands raised or bring them down, palms together to touch at heart center. And take a moment to look down at the toes, and if you can't see them, shift the weight back into the heels a little bit more. Add a slight tuck to the tailbone to help lengthen through the spine. And notice where the weight is in the feet. Notice if you're wobbling back and forth, and see if you can firmly press down into the ground through both the toes and the heels. See if you can engage the glutes a little bit more to stabilize this position. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. Inhale, press down through the heels, reach the hands up, lengthen the leg. Exhale, sweep the arms out wide, bend forward at the waist, dive down towards your toes. Inhale, lift halfway, palms on thighs or shins, bend the knees to get that flat back. And exhale, plant the palms, step back to a plank, stay here for 5 rounds of breath. You always have the option to lower to the knees to decrease the intensity, or lower down to the forearms to increase the focus on the core. Or if you'd like, you can make this more movement and walk from low plank to high plank and back. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. Inhale, lower down to the knees. And exhale, tuck the elbows in, lower all the way down to the chest and chin. Inhale, squeeze the elbows in towards the ribs, untuck the toes, press down with the tops of the feet and the palms, raise the chest, cobra. And exhale, push back over the knees, push low for child's pose, or lift up and back for downward facing dog. Take 3 rounds of breath here. If you're in child's pose, start to make your way back up to downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale, bend the knees, gaze towards the top of the mat, and exhale, walk or step forward between your hands. Heel toe the feet together to touch. Inhale, lift halfway, squeeze through the core, reach the crown forward. Exhale, plant the palms back down. Inhale, slight bend in the knees, sweep the arms out, lift through the chest, press down with the heels, raise all the way up to Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, weight back into the heels, bend into the knees, lower the hips down for chair. We'll be here for 2 rounds of breath. And with each inhale, lengthen through the arms a little bit more. And with each exhale, try to pull the shoulder blades down the back to create a little bit more space between the ears and the shoulders. Inhale, reach the hands up, still with the knees bent. And exhale, fold over the waist, bring the palms down to the front of the feet. Inhale, lift halfway, palms on thighs or shins. And exhale, plant the palms down, step the right foot back. Inhale, press back firmly into the ball of the right foot, raise the chest, lift the heart, bring the gaze up, hands high, crescent lunge. And exhale, pivot the right heel down, bend into the left knee, open the arms to the front and back for warrior 2. Inhale, straighten the left foot, pivot the left heel so the foot's parallel with the front of the mat. Reach your hands up towards the corner, star pose, get as big as possible. And exhale, point the heels in, bend into the knees, bend the elbows down, goddess or horse pose. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach the hands up, bring the gaze high. And exhale, bend the knees and lower goddess pose. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach the hands up. And exhale, one more time, bend the knees, lower the elbows down, squeeze the shoulders together for goddess pose. Stay here for 5 rounds of breath. Really press down through the heels, through the feet. Squeeze the thighs back towards the hips to open through the groin. And tuck the tailbone slightly to help create that length through the spine, to stack the spine over the hips. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach the hands towards the corner. And exhale, pivot the left foot towards the front, bend into the left knee, left elbow, left thigh, right arm high for side angle. Inhale, bring the hands down, frame the left foot, pivot onto the ball of the right. And exhale, slide the left foot up and back, 3-leg dog. Inhale, bring the left foot down to meet the right. And exhale, push the hips up and back to down dog or lower down to the knees and shift back low for child's pose. Take 3 rounds of breath here. If you're in child's pose, start to make your way back up to down dog. And from down dog, inhale, bend the knees, gaze towards the top of the mat. And exhale, walk, step, or jump between the hands. Heel toe the feet together to touch. Inhale, lift halfway, palms on thighs or shins, crown reaches forward. And exhale, plant the palms back down. Inhale, slight bend in the knees, sweep the arms out, press down through the heels, lift all the way up to Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, weight back into the heels, bend the knees, lower down into chair or fierce pose. Take 3 rounds of breath here. Inhale, still with the knees bent, reach the hands up high. And exhale, fold forward at the waist, bring the palms down in front of the feet. Inhale, lift halfway, palms on thighs or shins, shoulders squeezed together, broaden through the collarbones. And exhale, plant the hands down, step the left foot back this time. Inhale, press firmly into the ball of the left foot, raise the chest, reach the arms up high, crescent lunge. And exhale, pivot the left heel down, bend into the right knee, open the arms to the front and back, warrior 2. Inhale, press down through the right foot, pivot the right heel, bring the right foot parallel with the front of the mat, reach the hands up to the corners, star pose. And exhale, point the heels in, bend into the knees, bend the elbows, lower down to goddess or horse. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up. And exhale to bend and lower. Inhale to straighten and lift. And exhale, bend and lower 1 more time. Stay here for 5 rounds of breath. Maybe add a little bit of movement. Sway from left to right. Bring the hands down to the thighs and deepen into the sway. Or you can stay static. If it feels like the ground is moving underneath you, it very well might be. The ground is moving underneath all of us in a way. Take 1 more round of breath here. And inhale, press down through the heels, straighten the legs, reach the hands up high, star pose. Exhale. Pivot the right foot towards the front, bend into the right knee, right elbow, right thigh, left arm high, side angle. Inhale, hands down, frame the right foot, pivot onto the ball of the left. And exhale, right foot up and back, 3-leg dog. Inhale, left foot down to meet the right. And exhale, lower down to the knees, Walk your hands back towards the hips. Sweep your legs around and towards the front. Inhale, bring your arms out alongside your knees. And raise your feet up parallel with the floor. Keep the knees bent here and slowly start to lower down, or straighten the legs and start to lower down to low boat. Engage through the core. Come down as slow as possible. Let the shoulders and the head and the back of the heels come down last. Bring the heels in close to the back of the hips. Inhale, raise the feet up and hug the knees in towards the chest. Roll from left to right for a little low back massage, or roll up and down the spine. Bring the hands to the inside of the shins, or wrap your fingers around the big toes, and lift the heels up towards the sky, happy baby. You can rock from left to right here as well. And then take any final poses or preparations your body is asking for before Shavasana. And when you're ready, come down into Shavasana, what is commonly referred to as one of the most difficult poses in yoga. This is one of the only times I've really moved my body in the last couple days outside of going for a run or going for a walk. And it really continues to drive home the importance to me of that movement and helping to clear my mind and create a little bit of space and room for me to have those types of conversations like we started talking about at the beginning. Before coming down into Shavasana, take one last deep breath in. And exhale to let it all out. Release your focus on the breath. Let your hands and fingers and feet and toes start to melt down into the earth. Imagine that the sound of the garbage trucks in the distance is the most beautiful symphony you've ever heard. And if it helps to use that beautiful symphony as a focal point to keep yourself grounded in the present moment, then please do so. slowly start to bring yourself back to your body, beginning with the breath. Add some movement into your fingers and toes, and arms and legs. Reach your arms overhead and stretch out like a cat waking up from a nap, or rock from left to right onto whichever side is your favorite, and slowly push yourself up into a seat. Let the eyes stay soft or downcast for another few moments. And if it feels right to you, bring your hands together, palms touching at heart center, and bow your head to seal our practice. Thank you all for showing up and practicing with me this morning. Washington just issued a stay-at-home order, so who knows? I may be offering even more yoga because I will definitely just be crammed up in here. May we all go through the rest of the day and the next few weeks finding that space for compassion and patience with ourselves. Namaste. Thanks, everyone. Hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'm sure I'll talk to many of you online. Bye!